Hey, and thank you for tuning in. My name's Carlos, and welcome to the Cinema Crew. Weird hand movements there. Today, I want to give you 5 things I think you definitely need for your first or any short film. So number 1, a camera. Let's not joke ourselves here. Let's not be smart, okay? I understand people say story over everything or sound over everything. No, okay? You can shoot a short film even without a story.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
All you need is a camera. And I'm gonna be honest here, if your budget is not over $1,500, I will honestly recommend your cellular device. And now, okay. I know, that seems a little lazy, right? Now, your camera here can shoot 4K. That's better than a lot of older cameras. And even some cameras that you would spend $1,000 on. So, number 1, use a camera. But if your budget doesn't allow, you have a camera. So there's no excuses here. Okay? You can film something, but you need a camera. Number 2. Now this is, okay. Now number 2, let's be real. You need some sound. For the most part, there's a lot of good budget transmitter microphones out there, and you don't have to sync them separately in post, which is amazing. They're like synced to the video. So obviously I would recommend DJI. I have the DJI Mic 1s and the DJI Mic 2s, and they're pretty good. If you don't want to get that, you can also just get a shotgun mic. Rode makes some pretty good ones. There's a whole bunch of different brands, but do your research on what would fit your camera, your workflow, and your setup best. Number 3, lighting, okay? Yeah, that's important. You wouldn't be able to see me if I didn't have this light. I know it looks like I have one here and one here and another one I also forgot to put here again, but with a culmination of all those lights, I'm still dark unless I have this right in front of me, a key light. I have shot a short film with 2 lights and 2 like mini lights. That's the best way I could explain those. You don't necessarily need to have like a whole lighting kit set up, but 1 or 2 of those, that does the job, and it does it pretty well. Now you won't look like you're filming a Hollywood special, but you will look like you have proper lighting. And as long as you can make it look natural, that is what 90% of gaffers, I assume, try to do. There is another 10%, but they do what they want. Now, the 4th thing. This is important. An editing software. And if you don't have a computer or something, I don't know how you're getting your files from your camera, but if you do have a computer, DaVinci Resolve, I don't recommend pirating any editing software, but you don't really need to pirate DaVinci. So that's my recommendation. If you don't have a laptop, totally fine. CapCut. I'm not even joking. I'm not joking. CapCut is so good. You can even use it on your computer or laptop, which is good. It's growing. And so CapCut's got a lot of good templates, and it's got simpler language for people. You kind of have to like do some research and understand some editing lore if you go the DaVinci route, but that is what a lot of professionals use. I like to know that I'm at least doing what some professionals are doing. Not all, but some. And man, that point got away from me. Point being, use DaVinci or CapCut. They're really good. They have free versions, and you can do a lot with those free versions. If you want to pay, that's totally something you can do, but you don't have to. So, number five, the 5th one on this list is a way to transport your gear. Now, I probably should have said like cases and all this stuff, but I don't feel like this one ever gets mentioned. And this is a gear cart or some sort of way to transport all your heavy stuff. And I know you're thinking, that's a little extra. I have a sedan or yada yada. I have a sedan and small car too, okay? And this cart folds down and actually fits in my trunk. And albeit it isn't the only cart out there. There's smaller ones and there's different ones. This one's kind of a custom one, but if you are interested, there's this thing called a lava cart, and it's just attachments for either rock and roller carts or gator framework carts. There's a whole list, and honestly, there is cart lore, which is crazy. There's lore for everything, and yeah, honestly, it's fun and intimidating, but I don't know. I did some research and I know a little bit of it, so just passing off some knowledge wherever I can. But yes, a cart. There's been multiple times I've shot even just YouTube videos on location. I'm like, man, one heavy thing on this shoulder, then like another one on this one. It hurts. And then you get to where you're shooting and you're like, you sit down, you're like, okay, it's gonna stop hurting. It doesn't stop. It like stays hurting. And you're like, why? Maybe you just shouldn't have walked a kilometer with like 40 pounds of gear. So get a cart, an off-road one, super helpful. Can't wait to continue using mine. And it is a fun thing, honestly, to show up to set with and people be like, oh, that's kind of cool, low-key. Oh, and it helps organize everything. Like, there was one day where I didn't use it and all the gear was just scattered. It took a whole room, literally. Like, the whole green room we had set up for that day was just the whole, like, full of stuff on the floor. And then, next day, different location, we used the cart and everything was pretty organized. And I mean, there was still stuff on the ground, but we could like walk around without having to like make sure we're not stepping on something. And that's how you increase efficiency. So gear cart is my 5th recommendation. With this list, I hope that you can somewhat put something together, or just keep in mind some things that I would suggest you use. I'm not saying you need all these things. 5 things I think you definitely need, but low-key, you kind of do. So whether you're shooting your first short film or any other short film, I wish you luck, and I hope this list somewhat helped. With that, I'm Carlos. And that's showbiz, baby.